Hi, my name is Jackson Voss, and I'll be presenting the poster titled The Severity of Myopia in Rural and Urban School-Age Missouri Children Before and During COVID-19. Now, the research question for this project was, has home confinement, and in particular virtual schooling due to the COVID-19 pandemic, had a myopic effect on Missouri children? Now, you might be wondering, well, what exactly is myopia? Well, myopia is also called nearsightedness, and it's the most common ophthalmic disorder in the world, with an estimated 1.4 billion people, or 22.9% of the world population, affected. There's also an estimated economic burden of $202 billion a year due to uncorrected myopia. Now, you might also be wondering, how does this exactly apply to children? Well, studies have found that more time outdoors may reduce the risk and the progression of myopia. In particular, children with low exposure to sunlight and high near vision time increase the risk of developing myopia by 2.6 times. So in particular, during COVID-19, we were concerned that increased computer learning and near time or near vision learning would have an effect on children's myopia and the progression of it. So we were able to partner with Missouri KidSight, which is a nonprofit organization which does photo-based screenings of all Missouri children. And they were gracious enough to give us some data to analyze using SPSS. So this was a retrospective cross-sectional study, and we were using school-based photoscreeners in 9,835 children, aged 6 to 13, within Missouri. And all counties within Missouri were represented, and the counties were designated either as rural or urban based on the 2018-2019 Health in Rural Missouri Biannual Report county classification. Now, if you look at the results section, you can see that there's Table 1 and Table 2. Both of these are displaying the mean spherical equivalent in rural and urban children. Now, the mean spherical equivalent is basically the amount of power that you need in a lens to correct myopia or nearsightedness so that you can have a clear, crisp image of whatever it is you're trying to look at. Now, these photo screeners can basically just take a picture of a child whenever they're in a school setting or something similar to that and able to calculate that. And so we were able to look at data from 2018 to 2020 to see if there's any change in the mean spherical equivalent over time that might be attributable to COVID-19 and the home-based learning. If you look at Figure 1 and Figure 2, you can see this in a chart format. Now, you also notice from age 6 to 13 that there are a change in the mean spherical equivalent going from positive to negative, and that's a normal finding in any population. But if you look at the variance in between the years, which is color-coded, there wasn't a significant amount, nor was there a significant amount between urban and rural children, which is a little different from what we were expecting. We were expecting to see in 2020 a significant change in myopia, which was also referenced in a paper published in JAMA looking at home and virtual learning in China, which was able to find a myopic shift in children. Now, we were able to kind of attribute the lack of finding this to maybe a few different things. It could be due to the photo screens that were used at the sites. They may not have had the most accurate results as far as the mean spherical equivalence. Another difference could have been in access to care or varying access to care between children, and also non-standardized school closures. Some children may have actually remained in school versus virtual learning, and the extent that each child would use virtual learning could be a significant factor that contributed to not finding a statistical significantly difference between urban and rural children's myopia. Now, as far as what directions to go from here, I think it would still be interesting to continue to evaluate this, given that the pandemic is still evolving, as is the school's response to that, and whether or not there would be any shifts in the vision in Missouri. Another interesting aspect that we are currently looking at right now is detecting the prevalence of myopia. Although the severity may not have changed, it could be that more children are actually becoming myopic, which could reflect an unforeseen complication of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, thank you.